All right, fourth graders, it is our end of the unit of Solomon. And one of the major things that we learned from King Solomon is at the beginning of our studies of King Solomon, he asked for wisdom. I'm just going to write that word. I don't want to include it on my letter. But he asked God to give him wisdom. And he asked God to give him advice. And we can learn from King Solomon too. When you don't lead and obey God and follow him, there are consequences to our sins when we're not asking him. And to reflect at the end of our unit, I want you to think about somebody in your life who has given you really good advice, or they've given you wisdom and they've helped you grow. They've taught you lessons. I'm going to just think of some examples that people you might have in your life. Maybe it's a Sunday school teacher, a school teacher, could be a neighbor, could be a parent or grandparent. Could be usually someone who gives you advice and wisdom is typically older than you, not always. So it could be a friend, maybe an older friend that you have, or like a babysitter. And what I want you to do, once you've chosen the person, I want you to write them a letter. This is going to be your reflection, thanking them for what they've done for you, thanking them for giving you advice and helping you grow. And then maybe at the end, you would even like yourself to write a prayer to God, or just say a prayer to God about thanking him for giving you wisdom. But I'm just going to show you an example. The first person that comes to Mr. Ant's mind is my friend Kristen. She's older than me. She's about 50. She has 3 kids. And she's just somebody who has really given me a lot of wisdom and advice. And I'm going to write a letter. I didn't even know I had lined paper at home. I haven't written a letter in a long time. And I think this will mean a lot to her. Dear Kristen. So I'm going to start my letter. I might start with, I'm so thankful for you. Which means you've taught me so much and have given me great advice and wisdom over the past few years, or however long you've known the person, or if there's a specific time. But I would just like you to write this letter. You don't need to show Mr. Ant. You don't need to send it to me, but I would send it to that person and just really remind them, and then think about how can you use wisdom in your own life. How can you give others wisdom? And then you can also upload your memory verse to Flipgrid. You can practice saying that. Again, that's optional, but I would encourage you to do that. Thanks for studying Solomon with me.